just wanna be free with my people to prosper and hold it down. Don't you sit and wait, contemplating on a revolution. The time is now. I just wanna be free. 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 Can't you see? I just wanna be free.
Okay. It is episode 200. Welcome, everyone. It's Things I Wish I Knew About Money podcast. I'm your host, Kamille. I'm excited. I'm ecstatic. Golly! Today is a big day. Actually, there's three things that makes this episode so lovely. One is a 200th episode. So, second, it has been 4 years since I've been doing this. So, I'm really excited. In 4 years, um, and we have people that want to come and celebrate with us. And also, it's Financial Literacy Month, which is the biggest thing, because as you know, Things I Wish I Knew About Money is all about personal finance, financial literacy, and things. And I'm just so blessed to see one guest that came true so far. But we're going to have a party. It's going to be a party. We're here to celebrate and just talk about personal finance, financial literacy month and stuff. And the first person up is Dr. Vibe. Welcome.
What's going on?
Woo! I'm here. I'm celebrating the 200. So I'm very excited. How are you, sir? Thank you
I
for joining.
I had
Actually, no, stop. Pause. So you remember episode 99? Yes. I'm coming for you. Episode 99, you're like, oh, why can't I be in episode 100? And I said, there's other Andre, because he usually would do the podcast with me. He was going to be the person that would be the honorary guest. However, Minoya, you,
I can still
um,
leave,
no,
if you want me
you
to.
made a campaign. You made a campaign to be on the 200th episode, and here you are. So welcome.
Well,
Why?
congratulations on your 200th show. We
Thank
know you
you.
you you have so much power going on. So, how does it feel to have 200 shows under the belt?
Man, it's something. Um, I know ideally because what? It's the fourth year. I should have more than 200, but I think it's even more special that I have it at this same time. So I love it. Whenever I have an episode, whether I'm blue, happy and stuff, it really gives me joy. So I'm happy that I'm able to share the knowledge I have and then have people share their knowledge as well. So I'm really ecstatic. And today we're
Dressed
gonna talk about some
dressed
stuff,
up in
but
your pink blazer. All right, looking
you know what?
fantastic.
I got
And check out the earrings too.
right.
What?
Me had to dress nice for my 200th. Me have to big up my friend. Said, what are you doing? Make sure you look proper and stuff. So let's see who's in the chat so far. Okay, Leanne, welcome. Shayna, welcome.
What's up,
Woo!
Shayna? What's going
Hello,
on?
where are you? Huh? Sorry,
I just
what
said,
you
"What
say?
up, Shayna? What's going on?"
Yes. Um, and for the folks that may be new to this podcast, so they're coming on a special occasion, tell the folks who you are,
Well,
please and
thank
thank you.
you for allowing me to be on. My name is Dr. Vibe from Scarborough, Ontario, Canada.
Mm.
Global audience. I am I have hosted and produced over 5,000 online conversations. I'm a two-time Canadian Ethnic Media Association award winner, and I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers. It's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care, and being part of that team since 2020. Our team has reached out directly and indirectly to over 400,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Awesome, awesome. Let me try this one. There we go. Thank you. And when it comes to being on the podcast, what were your best or aha moments when it came to either being
I
part
want.
of it or
I
watching
actually,
something else?
actually, I want to flip the script a bit. I
No,
want
I asked you first. It's my platform.
what I
Me want to
yeah.
ask you first.
You see that? You see that? She does with my conversations. I say it's art. It's my. Okay, take care. Ownership. Okay, what have I learned? I learned different
Mm,
aspects of financial thought
nice,
process.
nice.
So, and I can
Unlocking
and
that.
I see how much fun you have with it, and you present
Mm,
the you present it in a unique and fun way. So I think a lot of these days, a lot
thank
of people want to have some fun while they're learning. So you provide both, and
yeah,
then so.
thank you. Oh, you know what? I agree because when it comes to personal finance, a lot of folks don't find it interesting. Even in the last couple months, I've been trying to do content with personal finance and make it as interesting as it is. I actually did the most funnest. Actually, the last two reels that I've made have been really fun and more engaging than others. So I'm like, okay, you know what? This is awesome, and I just can't wait for the rest of the month to be able to make it as interesting as possible because I think being financially literate is very important, especially in this time. So I really want to try to make it as entertaining as possible.
Okay. So
Do you
do I
agree?
have your permission to ask you a question?
Absolutely. The floor is yours.
Okay. So
Now I'm scared what you're gonna ask. Darn it.
how did things I wish I knew about money come into being? When did the original thought come into existence?
Mm, that is a great question.
Well, once in a while,
Actually, let me write.
question.
Hold on. Let me try to create a banner too. Why did I? How was it created?
Where did the
Was
original
that the
idea
question?
come from? Where did
Mm.
it come? The original idea come from? And then can you take us, the audience, from the idea to when it became a reality, the process?
Golly. Okay. So I want to say during it's either during the pandemic, like in 2020, like beginning, like March, or even 2019, I had the
Hmm.
idea of creating it. And this is also when I met Andre Smith, big up Flip and Floss. And I'll always support him. Um, I met him virtually, and I realized that we both had the same love for personal finance. And then I also realized, like, and I know you're gonna make a joke, EYL, they also talk about personal finance and financial literacy, but they're more American based, right? And I was like, this is all fine and dandy, but 401ks, Roth IRAs, no Canadians really gonna understand that unless
Yep.
they're adapt to it. And that, like, the one thing is about me is like I read all these books and I read about the Roth IRA, 401k, but I had to learn how to switch it to the RSP, TFSA,
Yep.
RESP, and so on, right? So I was like, okay, I personally haven't seen a platform where people are going to talk about it and in a fun way. So I just decided I wanted to create one and I wanted to make it entertaining because I always think having two people creates a great bond and understanding because different personalities will be able to catch certain folks,
Sure.
and having the balance of a woman's perspective and a man's perspective to be able to talk about personal finance because we all have their different experiences, right?
Yeah.
So then that was 2019. We were talking about it. The pandemic happened. We were more into um so we're talking virtually, and I'm like, Andre, I really want to work with you. Let's do this. And it wasn't until October, so I believe October 2020, we were trying to like connect um with our times to do it. I'm pretty sure the one hiccup was we had Zoom, but we didn't connect Zoom to YouTube. So that was a hiccup. I'm like, okay, boom. So we can't do that. Actually, no, that was in April 2021. But the Spotify with like just talking virtual, we had the Zoom and it was fine and we were talking. But I always kept the videos just in case. So then we said, okay, once we get like 500 views, 1,000 views, we're gonna go on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's funny how the universe works because the same week that we hit 1,000, it was the same weekend my mom passed. So the fact that I was even able to do it, like be virtual, was tricky, but like I
Do-
know my mom would want me to do it, so I pushed through.
Hail up your mom as always. What
Hmm.
do you remember your first recording?
Our first recording was just an intro, and then we were just explaining, and I'm gonna cheat just to go on Spotify, just to talk about, um, just to give a vibe of what we're going to do. And then the second one, I think the second one was the funnest, was flossing or keeping up with the Joneses. Don't keep up with the Joneses. That one was a fun one because I always noticed that a lot of people, and maybe I've done it before. I've try to floss up and just be like, "Oh, look at me! Look at my status! I'm on top of things." But when really you're just struggling, and that's one thing I want to teach, like generation, or millennials, Gen X, alphas, and all that thing, and even the boomers, baby boomers, and Gen X. Flossing doesn't really work as much as actually, building the wealth and everything. So that's one thing. That was one of my favorite ones. And look who decided to arrive.
Oh, should
So
I
I
leave?
have
I guess I should
another.
leave now because I'm.
No, no,
Oh, oh,
no,
oh,
no.
I thought, no.
The more
Oh, oh,
the merrier. The
oh,
more the
I'm
merrier.
allowed to stay.
Yes, you're allowed to stay. So,
Thank you for your permission.
folks, no problem. And this was actually a great question. I wish Mr. Brooklyn was on a little bit earlier, but it's okay. So I'm gonna introduce my brother from another and things, and are you ready to come on stage, sir?
Kind of, sort of. We'll see. I'm not too sure
Hi,
exactly.
good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
So
How are you
Mr.
doing today?
Vibe, or Dr. Vibe, Mr. Vibe, sorry, Dr. Vibe, meet Brooklyn, my brother, meet Dr. Vibe.
Good day, sir. How you
Welcome.
doing today?
I am blessed, highly favored, magnet for miracles, solution for someone's problem, and black alicious. How are you?
I am doing okay. I can't complain. Just finished my pod, so I'm kind of trying to make time for the dear sis before I can go take my Saturday nap.
Yes, because
You're not taking no.
if you don't honor her, she will crown you.
It's okay. Listen, she's simple. All I gotta do is throw some shrimp at her, and I think I'll be okay.
That
Oh,
is true. That is
well, things we wish we knew about Kamille show today.
no,
Okay.
no,
Oh
no.
yeah, this
Everyone,
is what
no,
this
no,
is.
no.
Yes, yes, yes.
Everyone knows I
I
love
am the
shrimp.
I
Everyone
think I
knows.
have a little bit of a a heads up with every and then everyone else just because she's my sister and I could always play the brother card, as the older brother.
Ah,
And welcome,
ah.
welcome. Shayna, you better come true. I'm looking. I'm seeing you chat. Put in the say stuff in the chat. I love it. But also, Brooklyn, please let the folks know who you are. I think nope. Say who you are first, and then I'll start.
Uh well, everybody knows me as Brooklyn Jr. I own a leasing company with my father named HBBS Leasing. So we do leasing for people for equipment, dump trucks, um, pretty much anything that we can take back from you. That's what we pretty much do. Um, I try not to take myself too
So
seriously. Also, I have a branding company that I do called Bokeh. And then I have my podcast that I do with my brother um, and my lady called Wealthy Anonymous, Black Capsule. So we've been doing that for 30 episodes and nibble and dabble in other little things, crypto and different things like that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I really do.
So
Awesome,
you
awesome.
made a very interesting statement about you take back thing or you take things that people don't want.
No. So our leasing company, pretty much, we lease anything that we can actually take back from people. So we
Okay.
can do barbershops, we can do restaurants, anything that can be taken back and then sold. We do leases for those.
I know some people that
Like the
have
equipment.
relationships that want their partners taken back by people like you. So
That's a good one.
you,
That is a very good one, sir.
you can make some
The,
good business with that.
you know what? Maybe the new thing should be don't get married, just lease.
Not
Wow! Don't get married, get leaves is a wild
Just lease.
statement.
Hey, you know what? If it's not working out, just say, hey, listen, I can't pay for this anymore.
This is
I'm gonna return.
not
bum.
Camille does not approve this message. If you love who you
Yeah,
love, get
yeah, yeah.
married.
Or as my
Hey, but look, Camille. I mean, we you were talking about finances, and the truth be told, like when you get married to a person, it's a financial obligation that it
hold
that
on. You get into a
That is
serious relationship with someone, it's marriage is a business.
it is, and I think a
It
lot of
is.
people don't want to be honest about that. It very much is a business.
It is a Camille, why are you just not saying anything all of a sudden?
I'm not married, so I'm
No,
just listening.
no,
I'm just let.
you're not listening. You're not listening. I didn't ask if you were married or not. I asked
I'm
why you've gone
listening.
quiet.
I'm just
I
taking
think I
in the
think I think
conversation.
Mm.
it is a conversation, but for you're the host of the conversation, so your input would be what he's trying to say is that your input would be nice. But Doc, I do agree with you.
So,
I do believe that like marriage is a business. I think people look at marriage as this. Oh, I love this person, but when things go to shambles, the first thing isn't I don't love you anymore. The first thing is what can I take from you, and what am I owed
mm,
from this time, right? Is it 50-50? Is it 60-40? And I think when people start realizing that love is important and no one's not saying that you don't get married for love and all the great things, it's also understand that it's also a business, right? It's two businesses coming together to make one, if you really want to be honest.
mhm.
Right. So if you marry a person with a horrible credit, you can't then turn around and say, hey, listen,
Bum, bum,
I
bum,
I
bum,
don't understand why we can't buy a house and why I'm
bum,
holding up.
bum,
I'm the
bum,
one holding all the
bum.
cards in this situation.
So here's an interesting question
Woo!
for the single people out there. If you get into it's a merger. Interesting. Uh, if you get into a relation with someone and it's serious, would you ask them if they could share their credit rating with you? Credit
I
score.
have
Would you
in my in
ask?
my in my relationship. I definitely have. I've been like, hey, so not to be disrespectful or rude, but this is where my life is at. This is where I'm at in my life. This is where I'm going. I'm no longer 20 something years old. We're
Hmm.
getting close to the 40s, and I own a couple. I own property. I work. I have my own little business I'm building. I'm doing some things in my life. If you do want to become part of my life, I just some things I personally need to know. I'm not trying to be rude. If you don't want to share, that's understandable, and we could just go our
Hmm.
separate ways. But I also am willing to share with you my situation so that we both stand on ground because I feel like a lot of people complain, and I've heard like I saw this online the other day where a young lady was complaining saying, "Hey, I'm dating this guy and he's broke and he can't do this and he's not doing that, and all these different conversations, and I'm in my 30s and da da da.
Hmm.
And I'm like, did you ask all
So
the right questions in the beginning?
why did you get with them in the first place?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, did you ask and say, hey, what's your goals? Are you financially responsible? What are you doing? Like, we date like we're like, and at I think once you pass 30, I say 32, you need to stop dating like you're in your 20s. Don't just randomly jump into a relationship and not be like, I don't know nothing. Ooh, let's just see what happens. And I I think people have to get off those situations and be a little bit more responsible. And like you said, it's a merger of two companies. And if you merge with a bad company, buddy, the only person that you can blame is you, because you didn't do your research. You didn't look at the books. You didn't check and see how they've been doing for the last couple of years. None of those things, right? And then we tie ourselves with these people with this company, and then we turn around and we go,
Mhm.
why is our stocks going down? Why is it that we can't afford this, that, or the third? So I do believe that that statement you said is very important for people to actually take in before they get into anything, because we talk about investing in all these different things, but one thing we don't talk about is who are we invested in as our partners.
Well,
True,
host,
true. Golly.
can you assume your role in this conversation, host?
So I wait till people finish talking. So with
Well,
that,
thank you for giving.
no problem. When it comes to the credit score or credit ratings, at
Yep.
what time? I agree when it's more serious, and then you really want to like actually take in to see if this person is your actual person to like work merge towards. But I would be anxious if it's like the first 3 dates, personally.
No, I would say that early, but I do think once you guys start getting to a level where it's starting to get serious, and those conversations are being had of, listen, once the conversation starts to what is this, I think that's when the conversation should be okay. Once you get with the what
Okay,
is this,
fair, fair.
now we're starting to get into a little bit more of a you want to get serious. So that now let's have a serious conversation. If it's all fluff, then we can be fluffy.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to chat about today, host? I got a number of conversations. We want to find out more about you. So when did you say that this is
Me
something
or
I
him?
wanted to do? Yeah, you host. When did
Okay,
you
okay.
when did you just know that this was something you wanted to do every week? Was there a
Every
moment?
week?
Yeah. Because did you initially say, "Oh, I'm going to do this every week, bang, bang, bang," or was it okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was every week because I thought being consistent is key. And I know Dale would love that. From the Black Wealth. Um, Consistency is key, and I know some people are like, "Oh, you should just do it once a month," and I'm like, "No, then I would just lose the momentum, and I wouldn't want to do it." Like, there's been weeks where I was like, "Yo,
You
if I
know
don't
what?
put out one now,
Yeah.
it
You know
might
what?
be a down."
I should have, you know what? All the people that appeared on, we should have bought Kamille a gift for her 200th show. A standing microphone, not this headphone thing.
What's wrong with it? Can you not hear me, sir?
Not it.
No, he's saying this about visual appeal.
But the visual appeal is all here
No, but
overall.
no. I'm waiting for the day. Well, look, your partner in crime has a new microphone. You know, you commented on that.
Fair, fair.
So and
However, I did have a microphone before. I had the same microphone that you showed me, the snowball. That one was absolutely trash for me. People,
I wouldn't have
listen,
recommended the snowball, but just find out from her which one you should get if you decide to go that way.
Shayna, you have no intake until you come true. Eh? So,
All right,
but
have my 200 show and diss the audience. So nice.
no, it's I practice tough love, and she would be doing the same thing.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
hold on. I have to make sure she's able to get in. I'm pretty sure I sent it to her. Um, but
Who?
what was
Okay.
the? Mhm,
I
mhm.
we're questioning you because it's your show. So,
Absolutely. Question
uh,
away.
who was who were some
Oh
guests that were tough to get on? Like they were,
no. Oh, tough to
they,
get on
yeah. And saying this like it took a lot of
in a
effort to get
polite.
them on because of they have a lot going on.
Well, funny enough, the person that's here, Mr. Brooklyn, was a little bit
Ooh,
tricky because he was like, I don't talk about personal finance. However, actually the first episode that I did with him um was about relationships, and it was actually one of the most engaging conversations and viewed or listened to. So it was like, okay, Broski, should come on. But it was very hard to get him. I think it was literally me. I had my laptop with me. I was hanging out with him. I'm like, I have to do my podcast. Oh, by the way, just join me. You're gonna sit right beside me. So that was like my first in-person episode as well. So
okay.
he was one of them. Not throwing you under the bus, but it was actually an excellent episode. And I think trying to think who else. I don't want to say Ryan. Ryan wasn't hard to Ryan Knight wasn't hard. Mr. Celebrity, I call him. I don't think he was difficult, but I had to make sure our schedules aligned with each other as well. It's
Yes.
more so the difficulty of having people's schedule align or just saying, you know what, let's just do a pre-recording and then I don't have to worry about
Yeah.
if you're gonna jump online and stuff. That's the
Right.
one thing. I also had to learn how to just do batch recordings. If there's a day when I'm just like, I don't feel like doing it, right? So, um, yeah, I can't think of anyone else. There's one individual, Charles. He talked about not funding, leasing or like buying existing businesses. Um, our schedule was just off, and it took a year to get
Wow.
him. But I was very persistent because I really liked his energy and his like how he speaks, and I was like, no, I need you. I need you to come on and stuff. So that
Okay.
was one thing that was another person that I could think of. But don't worry, Brooklyn. You did very well.
You see, Brooklyn, you're in her good book. She has said not a darn thing about me. So that's interesting. All
You
right.
weren't difficult to get on. You said when, and I said, oh, okay. Even a time when I won't name the person, I was supposed to talk about cybersecurity, and they weren't able to join, and you were able to have a conversation with me like an hour prior, and then you're like, "Oh, do you want me to jump on?" I was like, "Yes, yes, come true, please, please." And I also have to big up Shayna because she's also another person that if I need them to like jump on like last minute, you two are the ones. Okay, whoa. And good evening, Roderick Wagwan General. Is there any more questions
So
you have for me, sir?
yeah, I want
I
to
know I'm
know.
on the hot seat.
Well, you're wearing your hot pink, so let's keep on going with it, right? Uh, what have you learned about yourself over 200 shows?
Hmm. What have I learned about myself? Hold on. Mm,
Wait, Cam, as much as I
yes,
do enjoy, I do have to take off because I do have other prior obligations that I have to take care
yes,
of. But I
yes,
do
yes,
thank
yes.
you. I just wanted to show up and show my face so you didn't say, you see, you're not showing your face at all. So I just wanted to make sure that I showed my face,
Thank
said
you.
hi,
But
and
wait,
make sure we
before
celebrate.
you go,
Hmm.
what's one thing you wish you knew about money? Um, from the past. That's the one thing I like to ask people. And if you have a question for me, you can ask it too.
Cool. What's one thing I wish I
Wish you
knew
knew
about
about.
money from the past?
Mm-hmm.
That sometimes the short term the long played game is just as good as the short played. So yes, you can invest money and make a quick buck here and quickly, but sometimes the long game is just as good because you are going to get older, and having something there for when those times come is important. I think I learned that a little bit later in
Mhm.
life, and I also, my second one would be, I wish I invested into real estate a little earlier in my life. I did I did it I did it pretty early, but
Yeah.
knowing what I know now, I wish I did it like 18, 19, like jumped in earlier.
Facts, facts, facts. Even investing. But yeah, I love the first thing you said, especially because there's some folks that I want to speak to the people that are like in their like late teens or early 20s. Like if there's a longevity when it comes to this, and if you start now like investing, you'll you'll see it grow. You'll see the money grow and everything, and
For
things will be
sure.
better,
So, but ma'am, I
right?
know we have plans to celebrate this 200 offline, so I'll see
Absolutely.
you on the offline celebration.
Yes,
Otherwise than that,
sir.
thank you guys for
Thank you.
having me, and I'm taking out.
Thank you.
Take care.
Much
Bye.
love. Bye. Okay, okay. And the question that you asked me, golly, what have you learned about yourself? Um, I learned I'm not as tech savvy as I wish I was. Um, I've also learned that being transparent helps people get a better understanding or is able to relate with myself and things, and they also know like, okay, so Camille's just like, not this stuck up lady and things, like she or actually knows what she's talking about and is able to make it fun. And also, I lost my train of thought for a second. Also able to understand that people's journey is is their journey, and if they don't want to jump on now for help, they will be able to jump on when it's their time to be ready. And I have to give them grace as well. That I have to learn patience.
Okay.
Hello, hello. Tech versus tech. Ah, ah, ah. And what else? What other question do you have? I feel like
Oh,
I'm in the.
well, I'm allowed to ask more.
Yeah, now
Thank you.
you are.
Oh, now I am. Thank you for your permission. I'm glad you
Absolutely.
released me from the green room. This is so good of you.
Ah!
Uh, so over the 200 shows,
Mhm.
what things have you learned about money that you didn't know before you started the journey?
Hmm. Good question. I learned more about life insurance, especially because I had an understanding that when it came to being biased about whether it was to get term or whole life, I was like, nah, I don't know about this like this whole life. But and then because I studied about it, because there's always individuals that would love to have me join their platform or work.
Because you're so popular. And this is why I try to I if and when I grow up I need to be like Miss Pink Jacket and be so
Oh
popular.
gosh. Oh,
So
that is so now my name's Pink Jacket now, eh? But also
I
the
can go
life.
back to I can
Nah,
go
nah,
to
nah, 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 nah. So we.
KSEY. Oh,
Oh
okay.
wow, you actually remember it.
I
So
remember. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
I
So
thought you were
life
you thought this
insurance.
was a vet. Go on.
No. So
Okay.
life insurance was more understanding. Um, leasing, like being able to fund, like funding, and I know your special one is scholarships. I want to learn more
Hold
about
on.
that.
Hold on. What word did you
Uh-oh.
say?
Sponsorships.
Yeah, not scholarships,
Did I
sponsorships.
say
You said scholarship.
sponsorships? My bad, my bad. Um, I learned more about funding because I also did like webinars as well, but that was able to align with it. And then just more about like not politics per se, but understanding how important it is to learn about the budget, because it actually affiliates with me doing taxes, me being able to help people about like saving and investing. And I would say no, I knew about investing before, but with growing the platform, I was able to like really learn about like option trading, future trading, and also the money behaviors when it came to doing those things, and tr- trying to show people don't be like me. When you're being greedy, when it comes to investing or actually when it comes to trading and being greedy, you're gonna get bun. And I've got bun many times. So that's why I always strive for folks to be more conservative and just like if they don't know about trading, just go into investing. Learn the basic first and then upgrade to the other things. And if you can't control your greed, you have to stay in the sideline and things, right? So that's one thing that I've I've learned throughout the 200 or 200 episodes I've filmed.
Mhm.
Is there another?
I'm allowed to ask another one?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes.
Thank you for your clearance and your permission, Master. Um,
No. Wow.
um, what do you during this show? Was there ever a time that you were totally blown away by some information that you received, or has there been a point during any of your conversations that even went, "Wow"? What that some of the information that was being shared by your guests or guests.
I want to say there's been many. First of all, there's been many. The recent one I remember is Andrew Stewart. I want to make sure I'm saying it. Yes. He was able to go in more depth about life insurance, like in a different angle. He had a different angle, and I've never heard someone have that angle. I was like, oh shucks. I was like, okay, that's lovely. And mm, Ted. Ted was able to come on and talk about mortgages as well and just like borrowing money and different aspects, because when it comes to leveraging, I understand the concept, but what he said was like mind blowing. And there's so many folks. I think there's another one, Chris Beth. She was able to give me the guideline of like the process of a business, or even when it comes to with a business, having that like that manual for folks.
Yep.
So like when you have like someone onboarding into your business, you already know the process of your business, so you're able to give it to someone else so they'll be able to help build and scale up your business. I love that, like that concept, like having a manual. And I know there was someone, like one of my clients, they were working on that manual. I was like, no wonder who you hear that from and stuff. So that was really exciting. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And everyone check out Tech versus Tech as well. He's into the investing world as well.
Okay. Uh, how do you feel the economic climate has changed for Black Canadians since over your 200 shows?
That's a great question.
Once in a while, you allow me to answer. Ask some. I don't get a lot of
Right.
practice.
So
I get. I don't get a lot of practice at asking questions, so this is I'm taking advantage now.
you're so silly. I want to first say that the things that I've been seeing online as of late, especially with what's happening to our cousins down south,
Oh,
um,
Tuesday
it is.
night.
And I'm not. I don't want to bring it up. I don't want to bring it up. Ideally, it's just that I seen that the fact that they're having a stock market trading for the elections is
Yes, on
absolutely
Robinhood.
wild to me.
Yeah.
And then the fact that they're, well, I don't know if it's going to associate with it, but that the stock market will be open for 22 hours. I think that's going to cause some interesting things in the economy. And not only it's going to be start being like a gambling thing, and it might get worse with people losing money. So I'm hoping that the economy for Black Canadians or Blacks in general, um, they don't get lost in the sauce
Hmm.
because I'm kind of scared with inflation and like maybe a recession and whatever happens on Tuesday. Oh, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just telling folks, if you don't have an emergency fund or if you don't have some type of way to beat the inflation, it's gonna be a rocky ride. And also like for families or loved ones, it's time to like come together and find a way to beat the inflation.
What? So,
Start start saving for a crappy day. Not even a rainy day.
so for since your 200 show and you allowed me to be on, um,
Mm.
are there any things you're wanting to do with the podcast in the near future that you don't have in place right now?
Um, I would love for. That's a great question. There is a couple things. So I want to get more advanced with some topics. Like I want to dabble into um crypto. I know, which will be coming soon. Crypto, different type of advanced trading, and also I want to talk about trust, especially in Canada. I think the one thing is people do not understand the difference that comes with what happens in the States. And they're like, oh, Camille, what about trust and things? I'm like, time out. Our trust and their trust are two different things, especially when it comes to taxes and everything. It's it's very interesting how people are not aware of how different it is that both countries are, and even in different countries, even if you think about Europe or countries in Africa, it's different. So you can't. One thing you see on on social media, it won't be the same, right? But I definitely want to have in person conversations as well, and then maybe like a live thing as well, which you would be of course invited.
Oh, thank you for allowing me again. My goodness. Would you
See,
allow me to sit at the back? Oh, thank you very much.
here's something else. Absolutely. But no, like I really want to, and then I'd also want folks to tell me what they're like. Ah, whatcha? The thing says you're not reach. But Dr. Vibe, and of course you can meet Shayna. She is also one person that, when it comes to last minute things, she come true. She come true. Big up Shayna. Whoa!
Hi,
Welcome.
Camille.
What is it? What is it? I called you it last time.
Oh,
Was
Oh,
it
thanks for the
I
who
feedback.
hope,
I'm
shot
hoping.
I hope it's a good thing.
who framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh gosh. I wasn't there for this, so I'm left out.
But you remember that movie.
Yeah, I do remember.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Welcome, Shayna. Please tell the folks who you are.
So I'm Shayna Brown. I'm co-founder of Ven Refresh. It's a vending machine alternative company that provides healthy alternative snacks rather than the traditional snacks available. I also have a background in human resources. The pillar of specialty is talent recruitment. So I've been on the podcast a couple of times with Kamille to talk a little bit about talent as well as business and any other topics that she's interested in discussing.
Ooh. You know what? You just reminded me. Our conversation was really dope about the HR because we were talking about quiet hiring and quiet quitting.
Quitting.
That one was
Yeah.
really um that one was interesting because I think, especially in this economy, a lot of people are trying to get like into something and they're just like, I don't understand why I can't get into this industry that I want. And we were able to go into depth about that. So I appreciate that one. So Shano is like one of the aha folks as well. Whoop whoop and welcome. Thank you for
Thank you. Thank
reaching.
you.
And what is one of the aha moments that you've had on things I wish I knew about money?
Just one. There's been a
Well, as
couple.
much as you, oh shit, if there's couple, go on, talk to them.
So I think my biggest aha moment is when you did the podcast episode about bricks. Because beforehand, you're kind of on the
True.
outside looking in, like
Mm,
you either catch a little news segment or you see
hmm
a social media post. But that
Yeah.
conversation that you had with Colin was very in depth and it really piqued my interest that I actually started researching and learning more. And I remember I connected with you and I was like, this Colin guy, who is this guy? I want to pick his brain. And then
Yes.
me and Colin had like long discussions about it
Oh,
because
yes.
very into politics and I
And
didn't
he's
even
very into
realize the in depth.
he's into
Yeah.
politics big time.
Yeah.
Just FYI, it's the grand plan is for Camille and Colin to get me off air. That's their grand plan.
Don't listen to him. He's talking so much nonsense. But you know what's a joke? Actually, was Colin the easiest person to get on. Remember, because we met him at the podcast event. Shane, I kid you not. I spoke to this guy Friday evening. I was like, "Do you want to come on a podcast and talk about bricks?" He's like, "Yeah, sure. When? Tomorrow." He's like, "Huh?" I'm like, "Yeah, tomorrow."
But he showed up. But he showed
He
up.
showed up. He showed up. So between like, dang, like between you three, he was like one of the easiest actually to get on. But it's true. Like the bricks was something. There's certain things that I don't know about, and I'm not gonna talk about it. I rather have someone that actually has that experience or expertise to talk about that, right? So like HR, I'm not gonna talk about that. I only know how to be. No, I shouldn't say that one. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say that. I have to
Don't
filter
say it.
myself.
Don't say it.
No,
Don't
no. I
say
had to
it.
filter myself.
Yes.
I
Hold on. You have to what?
I had to
Are,
filter.
are you not are
Filter.
you not feeling well? Are you
I
okay?
said filter myself. What are you
But
talking
again,
about?
you saying that? Oh my gosh.
I have to be mindful of how I say things, and that would have just like
Are you that way when you drive?
No.
Okay, thank you. She knows.
No.
Jana, don't call me out, please.
No,
Don't
well,
call
Like
me out.
last time.
enough has been said, so that's all we need. We got a
I
little is enough.
Oh yeah, the bricks. And what was another aha moment you had? That bricks one was good.
Um, I'm gonna think back. There's been so many episodes. You know which ones I really liked? Aha moments when
Hmm
you did the episodes about disability.
Shit. You know what? Why are you reading my mind? Why
I
are
don't
you
know.
reading my mind?
In your catalog, like
Big
that
up
was a very
Minnie.
informative. Like you did 2 episodes with her, if I can remember.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
and
yes.
those type of topics you don't hear about mainstream. People don't
Exactly.
talk about how disability works in the country. What are some of the opportunities and things that you can apply to? And can you run a business while on disability? And what does your income have to look like? So I thought that that was very informative.
That one was an aha moment for me. Thank you for refreshing my memory, because not only that is I and we've had so many discussions offline as well, me and Minnie, that it's so tricky when it comes to folks that are that have a disability, whether it's visible or not visible, that us able-bodied folks will never get to understand. Like, the amount of times I've spoke to her and she was like, people just don't understand. I'm like, I get it. Like, I understand how you feel, because I would be annoyed as well. Right? So she really is able to be passionate about helping folks that are disabled, and I'm so excited. And she's also the one reason why I started doing the 60-day content, or now it's 90 days. You and her. Don't like y'all, but I love it. I'm finally understanding. I'm finally getting a hang of it and making it fun with the content creation. So thank you for pushing me, because
You're
you're one of
welcome
the people.
anytime.
I just have to make sure that you do the content as well. I wish I had my cup to drink.
Or to
Me
pour.
wish.
You wish. Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
And mm, ooh, okay. Here's a question for both of you. What type of and I will write this down. What type of topics do you think I should start addressing as well? Because we need some ideas in the future, you know?
Am I getting any royalties? Oh, okay. Because you have a lot of money to give out, so I just want to know if I could get a cut.
Who says?
Okay. Here's a suggested conversation topic:
Mm,
money and culture.
money
Ooh.
and culture.
Because
Whoo!
many of us, in
I love
uh,
that one.
I'll go high level because that could be a whole hour in itself. But the predominant culture
Hmm.
programs us to spend, 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 not save, save,
Where
save.
is my cup? I just want to
Right?
sip.
And and we have to realize the reason why the economy is
Mm,
doing so good is people are spending money, and
Ending.
money they don't have, instead of investing and saving. So
Yeah.
the reason why, so a number of years ago when we had the pandemic and all that stuff, a lot of economists were scared. Oh, there's going to be a recession. There's going to be a recession. The reason there isn't a recession is people are still spending like crazy.
And I think, you know why? I think, especially the pandemic, when when it comes to people having traumas or being able to deal with what we dealt with, how long was it? 4 years ago?
It's not that long ago.
I know, but it feels like a century sometimes.
Yeah.
But for people to feel better with how they were coping with being locked in, their only avenue was spending.
Yeah,
Shucks, I know.
but
Me
this
know I was spending on
oh,
Uber Eats.
oh gosh.
Uber Eats was I should have got their stock the way they had my money. But
Here's
it's just the culture, right?
here's another conversation topic, and I was at a very good event on Wednesday for this gentleman who he's a graduate of the well, he teaches at the Rotman School of Management of Business Management downtown, but he's contracted all around the world for stuff. The impact of AI on the economy, on your economy,
Impact.
of AI on your economy, not
Big
just the
up,
economy.
big up AI.
No,
Big up.
but the impact of each individual's economy, not the economy in general, each individual's
Mm,
economy. because
okay,
because a lot of people feel, oh yeah, AI is going to take away a lot of jobs, but it's also going to create a lot of jobs. And
that's why I said
having the
big up.
having the right mindset to know to be ahead of the curve when it comes to
Yes.
AI. Like, I went to this presentation, I'm still reeling my head. This guy was on point.
Mm,
He was so on point with with it. And talking about how AI, how to incorporate AI. If you have a company, how do you incorporate AI with HR? How do you incorporate AI with your accounting? All those things. It was an incredible game-changing session in regards to, but AI and how is it impacting your economy?
I wrote that wrong. Thank you for repeating it. Awesome. And Shayna, I know we have one in the works to talk about, but
Um, I think all my ideas are still going to stem from the same thing that we talked about previously.
mm,
It's, and I don't think you've done this, like funeral planning, estate planning,
Planning.
elderly care. Like, what do you do after your parents get sick? Because nobody really talks about this. What are the obstacles you're going to face? Why is there a
I,
will made?
I've chatted about it
you
before.
have
Yes, but that's
the
a very point about taking. Do people, are you not only emotionally but economically able to take care of your parents?
And do
And,
you know the steps and like what's
that,
available?
and then I
Like,
think
how
another,
do you retire somebody who can't retire themselves?
there you go. And another thing too, am I
that's a
allowed to
big
put
one.
another suggestion in, Camille Queen?
Absolutely.
The re-
That's a good one.
the
Over.
retirement crisis.
You know what? We were having that discussion. You asked me if I did. I want to say the last episode, I did dabble into it because I try to give steps on how to prepare for retirement. Even though I'm not retired yet, but me
Yeah,
soon.
but yeah, okay. Did you give a number what people should be aiming at? And
Yes
did you
and
also
no.
encourage people who are in their 20s to
Hmm.
start thinking about retirement now? Because but if they reach that age, there's not, can a pension plan? If pensioners can't live on what what they're living on now, if you can't live on
Now,
what you're living on now, you're going to be
Yeah.
in trouble when you retire, unless you're set up for success. And
I
and I,
also,
mhm.
actually, another subject, the baby boomer wealth transfer.
mm,
Wealth transfer.
The baby boomer wealth transfer, not just wealth
Hmm.
transfer. The
No, no, I
baby,
know. I wrote it down as much as I remembered.
as you know, one of my astute friends who comes on my platform talks about that. And
Mm,
so right now, the many of the baby boomers are retiring, and their generation is probably the wealthiest generation of all time, right? And as they
no, I
transition, all that wealth is going to get passed down to the generation after.
true.
Is the generation after prepared? First of all, the baby boomers have their house in order financially, or are you going to get, what residual are you going to get from your generation before you when it comes to money and finance?
True. True. Golly. I like that one.
Oh,
Because
I'm
that,
glad I said something you liked. Good.
I mean, all the ones that you've chosen and suggested are great because, again, these are conversations our community doesn't have.
Well,
And
I don't use that word.
I know, but me want to see it.
Good
So,
for you. Go ahead.
oh, look at that. Minnie, you just missed it. We were giving you a
Oh,
shout
oh
out.
boy. Minnie is here now. I am leaving now because now the queen pin is coming into the room with a non-headset microphone. Bum, 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 bum.
Wait, Shada, I'm gonna showcase you because I want you to talk about the like a one more suggestion that you want to talk about. Hold on,
one
hold on.
more suggestion. I think like one of the suggestions that I think the community needs to hear, or that you topic you should discuss, specifically for young adults, um, that transition period between high school, university, job. I think
Mhm.
a lot of the kids are just unsure. Some, like a small percentage, actually know what they want to study and they actually have this huge drive. But I see a larger group now who are a lot more indecisive. and they start to make money. They get a part-time job that might turn to full-time, and then they don't know how to manage their money. And I
Mm.
think if we get
Mm.
them when they're young and get them to understand a little bit more money management, different avenues, and just sticking to a budget, I think it
Yeah.
would build them successfully to the future. Because I think as parents, we try to, but there's these
Hmm.
missing blocks where they just kind of fall through the cracks. And I'm hearing this more from parents. Like, I own a business. I want my daughter to come with me. They're not interested.
That's
They're
right.
not interested in
Right.
inheriting or learning.
That's right. That no,
Fire,
this is
fire,
very
fire.
it's a really important point because there was a Hakka food place that I loved and I uh, ate for many years. The parents fantastic, were in business 25 years, had two sons. Sons didn't want to run the business, they shut it down. And
Right.
it's so unfortunate because it was an incredible place, but they just shut it down. So I think it's a really
Wow.
important, and it's a moneymaker. Like there were people who would travel as far away as from Niagara Falls to get food from this place,
Oh, wow.
right? And it's gone. So I think that again, generational wealth. I know you talk about this a lot on the, but you never can talk about it enough. I think
True.
is an important subject. And oh, here's one. Do you suffer from financial trauma?
Ooh.
I think, but I feel like that corresponds with the money and culture. But I feel I have talked about that as well. Hold on, Minnie's saying, Minnie, I know I should have. I My bad.
Oh
But
wow,
I
you didn't
know
give
if
it
she
to
comes
her,
in, it will be like 2 hours.
and I know you do that.
Exactly. We had a 3 hour thing.
No, that's a marathon.
That's
Right?
a whole other episode.
That's a
Love
whole.
it, though. That's a
No,
great idea. Add it to your list.
yeah, that's a
Yes.
docu series.
Shush. It's like when parents are cooking, they don't.
Mm,
No,
that's a
well,
good one.
I feel like Shayna, you've done this. Dr. Vibe, I'm not sure if you can confirm this one as well, but no, my parents did that back in the day. You know what? I just
Your
ain't gonna
parents
hold
invited you
y'all.
into the kitchen?
They did invite me into the kitchen
Oh.
to learn.
I left home not knowing how to cook.
Listen,
My mother would tell me all the
listen.
time, like, I know how to balance a checkbook. I know how to do this in finance, and I manage myself well. And I'm like, that's great, but you didn't teach me.
There you
You
go.
never taught.
But again,
Golly.
and then that's a they have the creative trauma of money on the yeah, and
Hmm.
the whole thing.
Mm,
Many people who look like us are challenged in one of or a combination of these three areas: trauma, repetition, or
yeah.
symbolism.
Ooh.
Mm. Let me write that one down. Me have to write that one down.
Oh,
That's
you better have me on for that one because I'll need to break it down because whenever I share that with people, they go,
yeah, of course.
What do you mean by that?" So you have to break that down. So just the whole thing about financial trauma, I think it is a significant
Yes.
conversation. It's a significant conversation because many people, when they grow up, they inherit this either the same or the exact opposite money habits that they saw in their own home when they were growing up.
Yep.
No, I didn't have
Yep.
much. So,
Yep.
hey, when
Yep.
I
Yep.
get
Yep.
that money, I'm gonna reach back and live the life I didn't have a chance to live when I was younger. Well, when you were younger, that's one way of living, but now you ain't young anymore, right? You got responsibilities.
What's up,
And and
Hillary?
and
You got
and the
you got
price ain't the same as back in the day. Golly, can I go back to 2000?
right. So responsibility is made up of the word response and ability. Response and ability. What is your response and ability when it comes to money?
Facts. Facts. And
I get it. So what's your ability to respond to the problem? I get it.
Right? as one of my esteemed colleagues say, do you have 6 months emergency fund? And it's not getting here's an interesting fact as the election is coming up in your favorite country, Kamille, that do you believe
Who told you
that
that?
the bottom 50% of Americans only have 2% of America's wealth?
Say that one more time.
The bottom 50% of Americans only have 2% of America's wealth. And I don't think it's probably that much different than Canada.
No.
Damn.
No, 'cause I think it goes back to that statistic, Camille, that I keep on repeating to you about
Mm.
the average income of the Black family. And I've always argued with this because I hate the number. And
Mhm.
it's just so saddening to hear. And it's just a reality that
You
it's
don't,
very
That's enough.
unfortunate.
we don't, all I'll add to that is, okay, Black family, but realize, and I can only use statistics in the United States, the average Black family is not consisting of two parents. And statistically, again, I can only use US because we don't have the stats, I think, to the point here. In the US,
Not yet.
what demographic has the lowest economic status?
It's the same here.
Single Black mother. Lowest
Mm.
economic wealth in the United States. Single Black mother. And then you compound it, a lot of Black men.
I want to challenge that.
You go ahead. You go look at the
He's like, I want to challenge that.
you go ahead.
I
Go
kind
look
of
at
want to challenge that.
good for you. Go check the stats. And the other thing is with
I'm just, you know what? I'm only going based on my world and the folks around.
hey,
But that's
so
the
you know what?
problem. When you're
There
in
you
your
go.
bubble,
Yeah, that's
you're
right.
only going to see what's there. You're not going
Right.
to see what's not there.
My
Right.
bubble's proper, okay?
Oh well, of course. You're so, she's so bougie. Yes. Okay. Yes. Bougie.
Who
Bougie in her pink.
I am
Pink
actually
bougie. Yes.
Shay,
Okay.
Shayna knows me. I am not
Yeah.
bougie.
Bougie pink. But the
I'm
thing.
I understand because in your world, females are dominant. Their incomes are dominant. A lot of times they make more than their partners in your world. But then when we look at the bigger scope, there's
Thank
a
you.
little bit of a difference there.
There is a bit.
fair enough.
So
Fair enough.
especially again, how many Black couples do you know?
I know a couple.
There's that.
Wait, do they have to be married?
No.
Okay,
No?
okay.
But
Okay,
But
wait.
that kind of helps. That helps.
okay, but
Sure. So
that
black,
increases
not mixed, right?
that increases a little bit the numbers, but still again, realize, right? It
I
ain't
don't know.
easy living in this capitalistic society on your own.
No, it's
And
not.
right? And it ain't getting any easier. So then this is again the whole partner is really important because if you have a family unit, that increases your opportunity to survive and excel
Wow.
in this capitalistic society,
Mhm.
right?
So only
Because
Minnie's
enough,
town has grandparents.
right? Because there's enough non-melanated people who are having it tough. Well, if they're having it tough, you think we're having it good,
Shit.
right?
Not even.
Because there was a time when the color of poverty looked like us mostly. It don't
Mhm.
look like, and there's a big mix of that now,
Yep.
Yeah.
right?
It's something.
Right. So that's what I'm
Um,
just saying. That's why the Black family and economics correlate.
it's but you want to know? I feel like, and I can only go based on my bubble.
My bubble, yes.
Yes.
Fitness
It's
bubble.
it's getting better than before. Like I'm seeing more. So hear me out. Hear me out. So my parents were married for 40 odd years. I also have other folks that have experienced that. Then a little it simmered down a little bit. There was more single parents, single black parents, but then I see like now a rise of more black couples and marriage and stuff. I'm seeing it more.
Well,
Maybe I could be wrong,
well,
but
I'm happy to hear that. Now, my next question would be, how economically savvy are they? Again, going back to what I said earlier, if you went to these couples, if they're serious, do they know
mhm.
each other's credit scores? I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
That's actually a good point. I think I
Yeah.
didn't know my ex's credit score until it was time to buy a house.
Ooh, I remember that story. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So, because again, serious relationships, whether it's partner, husband, wife, and it's a business,
Mhm. Let me see. Wait,
right?
wait. Minnie, I'm gonna catch yours. The cash flow quadrant talks about who has the wealth and who doesn't.
And it hasn't basically changed from time. In fact, the gap is widening,
And I officially seen one black story of a person with disability in the media because I'm
right? So
that
that's
story was powerful
yeah.
too.
So this is what I'm saying is that it, and I brought this up yesterday during the morning vibe show. Am I allowed to say that again? The morning vibe show.
Absolutely,
As as
absolutely.
as it says, if you look culturally, you compare. Oh wow, you okay? There
No.
we. All right. So if you compare those of Chinese background, right?
Mm,
On and again, I'll use the United States as a bellwether. I think probably the same here. Do you see a lot of Chinese people
single?
protesting?
No.
Do you see a lot of Chinese people running for politics?
No. Well, except here.
Well, okay, but the thing is, right now, let's compare it to people from our background. We want to get
Mm.
on these school councils and things, and also
See?
we want to get involved in politics. Now, here's the funny thing, and again, I'm going to use the U.S. as a bellwether. I probably don't think it differs much here, but maybe it differs. Do you know the average percentage of Chinese Americans that vote compared to African Americans? There's a big gap. They hardly vote. Well, not they hardly vote. They vote in a less numbers than African Americans. You know what they concentrate
Really?
on? You know what they concentrate on? Economics. Because if you look at the average income of a Chinese American family compared to an African
Mm.
American family, it's huge.
It's high. Yeah.
So
Well, yeah. This is what I was saying.
this is why I'm relating it
Our
back
mayor.
to this show. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's rare, but they focus on economics because this is why that your show, your podcast, I like to say show, but your podcast is important because people need to know that again, we live in a
Mm-hmm.
capitalist society, family.
Yeah.
If
True.
you're the more your money is right, the more freedom you have.
Mm-hmm.
Would you
That
disagree?
that. Say it one more time.
The
The
more the more you have your money and your finances in order, the more freedom you have. Look at that tongue.
shush. The more you have your money and finance in order, the more freedom.
You have. Because again,
Freedom.
one of the freedoms you have is you won't have to be stressed when you go to bed at night,
That's so true.
right?
So
And also
true.
economically, you can leverage what you do with your
Hmm.
with your finances and your life.
Yeah.
You don't have to
And
worry.
that's why I strive to talk about certain things. That's why I want to talk more about
Oh, by the way, I know you're the big
thank you for
you're the
joining,
big
sir.
stock person. Are you investing? I tell the financial number for free. Yes. I know you're big into the investments. Are you investing into nuclear power companies?
Such as.
We'll talk offline.
Thank
But
you.
now, do you know why I'm saying that? And this after this, I'll
No.
probably I have to go.
Oh
Okay,
yes, yes, yes. I see.
because
Yes, yes, yes. Because
I'm allowed.
you have
I'm allowed.
yours.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So just a little thing people may not understand.
Well, before you say it, folks, this is going to be exclusive information, so you should jot it down. Okay? Okay, thank you.
This is why I say I have permission from boss lady, boss pink lady to share this. Okay. So all of us know about AI, but now you got to listen a little deeper.
Mhm.
AI consumes a lot of energy.
True, true, true. Yes, yes.
So the average AI search consumes a lot of energy than your average Google search.
Mm.
The energy it takes is very so all these companies like Google, Meta, OpenAI, etc., right? That so they need more energy to process all these queries from open that they're AI based. So
Yes.
what are these companies doing? Some of them are buying nuclear power plants.
Okay.
So I don't know. There may be
Okay.
some people who are older, but there was an incident in Pennsylvania at a nuclear power plant called 3 Mile Island. You may want to look
Mm.
that up. And if I am correct and correct, I may
Mhm.
be wrong in this. One of the tech companies just bought the 3 Mile Island nuclear plant.
All right. So I'm gonna have to do some research. Remember, folks, when you get information like this, we have to do our due diligence and do our research.
Okay, here we
Uh
go. Here's it. It's from
oh,
September 20th.
wait. You want to share it? Hold on. Can you? I'm not
Um,
able to let you
3 Mile
share.
Island is reopening and selling its power to Microsoft.
Oh, say less.
Three
Okay,
Mile
Microsoft.
Island is reopening. And so if Microsoft is getting into the business of buying nuclear power plants, what do you think, family? You may want, if you can have some money to invest, it may be a good, and again, you don't have to buy a whole stock. You can buy a partial stock.
Oh yeah, freaking who? Even though I've
If you
talked
want,
about this, I don't
I
like
put,
simple per
uh,
se, but
but
whatever.
but I put the link for that story I just mentioned in the chat. You may
Oh,
want to
awesome.
open it up and
Excuse
click
me.
on it, maybe share screen. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, that
Ooh, let's see.
don't listen to financial like me. I'm not as intelligent as Fitnance IQ, but I listen to
You're
business reports just to
you're
hear
so
what's going on,
silly.
right? Three
So I
Mile
want
Island.
to address to. So
Yeah,
Damien said for cars, AI. Nope, I can't do it.
right. But
My
and
computer's gonna
it says
freeze.
the headline. Here we go. But here it is. The first paragraph says
Yeah.
3 Mile Island, the site of the worst nuclear disaster in the United States, is reopening and exclusively will sell its power to Microsoft as the company searches for energy sources to fuel its AI ambitions. It's a 20-year agreement,
Awesome. I'll
right?
definitely
So this is so it says here
keep
too,
that
but
in
as
mind.
the tech giants search for more sources of power to fuel their AI needs, companies are
Mm.
increasingly taking a hard look at nuclear energy, which is carbon free and helps them maintain lofty climate goals.
Boom,
So
bomb, bomb. That I'll
nuclear,
definitely do my research. I clicked it, but I know the capabilities of my lovely device,
no problem.
so
So I'm
I
just
will
so
wait.
I'm gonna leave, unfortunately, but am I allowed to leave? Because I know you like to keep me under lockdown.
Absolutely. You have your show as well, and please tell the folks where they oh, before you leave, and Shayna, you're lucky, your thing, what is one thing you wish you knew about money um in the past?
Me or her?
You
Oh,
on
me.
here?
Oh, thank you for allowing me to speak. I think
Yes.
a few things, two or three things off my alleged mind. Long term, think long term.
Long
Don't
term?
think of
Yep.
don't look at immediate
Mhm.
gratification. and that wealth is not just monetary. And also, and
Mm.
and also the greatest area of wealth, and this is my thought for people who look like us, is our family.
Hmm. Touche, touche. Family's everything, right?
Well, and for some of us, we learn it right out of the womb. For some of us, we have to take some hard knocks, and some of us don't learn it at all, right? But definitely uh, keep a watch what's happening in the American election, because that's going to have an impact whether you like it or not on your
Yeah.
finances.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to have an impact, right? So I just like to say congratulations for Kamille, 200 shows,
Thank
allowing
you.
me to, I'll have her allow me to stay on as long as I have. She gives me clearance because I thought she was going to knock me off, her and Colin Joel. I thought we're going to come and just bowl me over, but I still have some space. So you can catch me
No, man,
all
I
things
appreciate you.
the Dr.
Thank
Vibe
you.
show.
No, carry on, carry on.
I'm very Googleicious, and if there's anything I can potentially help you with, uh, please feel free to ask. I don't know everything, and if I don't, I'm going to tell you, or I can get you to someone or a resource that can help you score goals and get wins. So as always, don't just
I do
manage
have
your
something to
time.
ask you soon.
Oh, okay.
Manage your
Uh,
energy.
don't just manage your time, manage your energy, and remember to give yourselves grace. And you know what? I'm going to challenge everybody here, and it's not a monetary thing. Is
Hmm.
is there someone you haven't reached out to in a while that you should have reached out to? Whether it's a
Say it
tech,
again. Is there
okay,
someone?
is there someone that you've been
Hmm.
meaning to reach out to that you haven't? Do it now. And also coming up this Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we're doing a live U.S. presidential election watch party. Three
Boom, bum,
Black
bum.
American queens, Alicia K. Saggers, Laura Lala Key, Dr. Tachi, and then two Black Canadian kings, Ryan O'Neill Knight,
King.
Cesar Nadima Musa. You will not see any type of that conversation in the world, probably, because we'll have an international conversation from a Black lens about the U.S. election.
Whew. I can't wait. It's going to be epic.
Oh, well, maybe we should have you on the panel too as a special guest.
No, 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 no. I don't do politics. I don't do politics.
Okay,
I'll just be on the
don't just manage
sideline.
your
But
time,
thank you,
manage
sir.
your
I love what
energy.
you just said.
What about the
If
reaching
there's
out?
someone you've been meaning
Very
to reach out,
important.
yeah,
Very all
I have
things
many
aside,
to
people.
reach out
If
to.
a lot of times, if your money isn't right, is because your mind ain't right.
Mm.
I'll leave with that.
Jeez, golly,
Keep the faith.
toodaloos. All right, folks. I didn't kick him out. He did it himself. But honestly, to everyone that has joined, who everyone that has um come through just to say their piece, I really appreciate y'all. Don't even understand. I definitely have a lot of discussions that I want to talk about in the future. And if there's anything that y'all haven't heard me talk about and want to hear about, please put it in the chat, put it in the DMs, whatever. We can have a discussion. Or if there's someone that you know that should be here, like having a discussion, give them not my number. Have them contact me this way. Contact me this way, and I'll be able to do that. And also, whatever happened to the elections, golly, the stock market was pretty lovely this week. I've noticed. So if you haven't started investing, please do it. Please do it. And it's also, remember, it's Financial Literacy Month. I've been doing so well with making content. I still have a post to give y'all today, but I'll try to make it as exciting as possible. And next week, we're gonna be talking about different things I don't usually talk about. So the next 100 episodes or 200 episodes or Infinity and Beyond episodes will be amazing. And thank y'all for joining. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend. And that is a wrap, y'all. I'm going to celebrate with my broski and things. And yeah, enjoy, folks. Until next time, see you next week.
I just wanna be free with my people to prosper and hold it down. Don't you sit and wait, contemplating on a revolution. The time is now. I just wanna be free. 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 Can't you see?